watching Republic.
Hi there, good evening. Hope you had a great Sunday. And now, let's look forward to what's coming up this week. In fact, welcome to this Sunday edition of Looking Forward. Welcome back. Like every week, we look forward to what's happening across the country and around the world. It's about stories that are shaping up over the coming week and in fact maybe ahead of that. News that is developing and would have consequences for your life and mine and impact our choices. Stories that shape India's and world's politics and economics going forward. So let's get going. Tonight, 4 stories like we always do. First up, second week of the monsoon session kicks in tomorrow. Would it be a washout like the first one, or would better sense prevail? The Modi government has lobbed a googly by readily agreeing to a debate on Operation Sindoor. Prime Minister Modi is back from the UK and Maldives, and the nation would know who stands where on this crucial national security question. We will give you a peep into what's going on in the minds of our honourable MPs as they prepare for week 2 of Parliament. Second story is about who after Dhankar. Vice President Dhankar quit in a huff over differences with the Modi government last week. He had admitted to opposition's motion on Justice Verma impeachment in the Rajya Sabha without taking the Treasury benches into confidence. But it's an important constitutional post and can't be left vacant for long. The Election Commission has set in motion the process to elect the next VP, and we take a look at who are the probables. And our third story tonight is a big one. Thursday would see verdict coming in the Malegaon blast case of 2008. This act of terror had introduced a phrase in India's politics, or political lexicon, saffron terror. The Congress party was in power both in Maharashtra and the centre. We will look forward to what is likely in the judgment and how it's going to impact politics. And finally, the fourth story is from the world of science and technology and about India's massive strides in space. For the first time, India and the United States have come together to give to the world a satellite that would get granular with Earth's environment. It's a joint gift of the two nations to humanity, I could say, as we launch Nisar, NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar satellite on July 30. Stay with us till the end for some exciting details. Let's begin with the headlines.
सिंदूर ने दिखा दिया है कि भारत के दुश्मनों के लिए, आतंकवादियों के लिए अब कोई ठिकाना सुरक्षित नहीं है.
Ahead of the mega debate on Operation Sindoor in Parliament, Prime Minister Modi hails Operation Sindoor during his visit to Tamil Nadu, says there is no safe haven for terrorists anymore. Election Commission of India shares findings of the Bihar SIR, 22 lakh deceased voters, 36 lakh permanently relocated residents and 7 lakh names registered in multiple places set for revision. Bihar's electoral rolls set to see over 65 lakh names removed in revision. 6 people dead, over 35 injured after a stampede in Haridwar's Mansa Devi temple. Magisterial probe underway in the case over rumors of a snapped electrical wire leading to the chaos. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Dhami meets the victims at the hospital.
यश, आपने शराब पी थी यश जिस समय आप गाड़ी चला रहे थे? देखिए, दोनों ने अपने चेहरे छुपा रखे हैं। तस्वीरों में आप देख सकते हैं कि अभिषेक इधर बैठे हुए हैं और उस वाली साइड पे जो है यश बैठे हुए हैं, अपना चेहरा छिपाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। हम यश से भी कोशिश करते हैं। ये
5-year-old girl killed after a speeding BMW car rammed into a scooter. Two students, Yash Verma and Abhishek Rawat, arrested in connection with the luxury car murder case in the country. Police has impounded the car, but will there be justice? Former Maharashtra Minister and NCP Sharad Pawar faction leader Eknath Khatse's son-in-law arrested by police from a rave party in Pune. Contraband seized from the spot, but Maharashtra politician cries conspiracy.
I'm happy that they are playing. Pahalgaon should not happen. Death should not happen. But sports is sport.
While BCCI maintains stunning silence over India-Pakistan matchup at Asia Cup 2025, Saurabh Ganguly, former cricket captain and former BCCI chief, says he is happy about India and Pakistan's match. He says game must go on. Victims of Pahalgam voiced their anger, demand an apology from Ganguly. Welcome back, friends. Monsoon session kick-started with a stormy week. It has been the same usual template, a demand for debate followed by ruckus, which is subsequently followed by adjournments amid the badlam. Despite the turbulent beginning, the second week of the session is much anticipated, beginning tomorrow. The government has agreed and 16 hours have been allotted to the Operation Sindoor debate, both in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. But it does not stop there. Opposition is demanding debates on multiple other issues. Here's what is expected in the coming week in Parliament. Take a look.
सदन चर्चा संवाद के लिए, नारेबाजी के लिए नहीं है। आप सदन की मर्यादा को बना करके तख्तियां लेकर मैं अलाउ नहीं करूंगा। सदन की कार्रवाई आज 12 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
प्ले कार्ड दिखाने के बजाय आप हाउस के मेंबर हैं, आप यू कैन सबमिट योर प्रपोजल रिजोल्यूशंस इन द फॉर्म अकॉर्डिंग विद द लॉ, और वो दैट विल बी कंसीडर्ड बाय योर बिजनेस एडवाइजरी कमेटी, और स्पीकर साहब समय देंगे, सरकार जवाब देगी। आपको क्या चिंता?
और ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के बाद की स्थिति पर रूल 267 नोटिस दिया है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के बारे में आपने जो दुनिया को बताया, हमको बताया, हिंदुस्तान के लोगों को बताया, उसकी बात कर रहा हूं। हमारे को इंफॉर्मेशन तो देना चाहिए
कि हम चर्चा करेंगे, हर तरीके से करेंगे, और ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के सारी पॉइंट्स को देश और दुनिया के सामने रखा जाएगा।
वो चर्चा मांग रहे हैं, हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं, फिर ये सदन चलने नहीं देते हैं। ये डबल स्टैंडर्ड बिल्कुल गलत बात है।
माननीय सदस्यगण, 0 आवर है।
उचित तरीके से मादा करी जाती है, तख्तियां नारेबाजी की जा रही है।
पहलगाम में आतंकवादी हमला और ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को लेकर के पार्लियामेंट में चर्चा होनी चाहिए। पार्लियामेंट शुरू होते ही हमने सरकार की ओर से साफ शब्दों में कहा कि हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार हैं। कांग्रेस और कुछ दलों ने फिर से हंगामा, शोर शराबे और तकिया लेकर के पार्लियामेंट के अंदर में, फिर पार्लियामेंट के बाहर भी हंगामा करके पार्लियामेंट प्रोसीडिंग का बाधित किया है।
मैं आपसे फिर आग्रह करता हूं कि आप इस सदन की कार्रवाई को आप सुचारू रूप से चलाएं।
While the first week has been a complete logjam amid the blame game.
The government is trying to dilute, run away from the debate, and the manner in which the Prime Minister had acted instead of organizing a debate or participating in a debate, he chose to go abroad.
The coming week of the monsoon session of the Parliament is expected to be even more fiery.
We have raised the Sindoor issue, we have raised the SIR issue, which is very vital. We know the pillar of democracy, the Election Commission is a very vital organization. We expect a creative intervention. We don't want to stop the Parliament. We want the Parliament to function. The Prime Minister should be gracious enough to discuss these vital issues inside the House.
Central government has agreed for a 16 hours discussion on Operation Sindoor. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will begin the discussion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah and External Affairs Minister S. Shankar, BJP MPs Anurag Thakur and Nishikant Dubey are expected to participate in this discussion.
As far as Operation Sindoor goes, the debate in the Parliament will appreciate that all opposition parties should rise above their political motives and political objectives and send a message to the world that nation stands by the Indian Army.
One of the big points of contention on Operation Sindoor debate in Parliament is Trump's claim of brokering a ceasefire between India and Pakistan.
Pradhan Mantri Modi ji to come to Parliament and reply to Donald Trump's allegation. Donald Trump, who has been questioning our integrity, who has been questioning our sovereignty, our stand has been very clear that India and Pakistan talks are always Dupakshiya. No third party can come into it. But Modi has been claiming that he stopped war in the threat of a trade. Can we really, as a country, accept that? Can we really, as a country, accept that trade can be replaced with terrorism?
जो हमारी सेना है उसके पराक्रम और शौर्य पर सवाल नहीं उठाए जाने चाहिए। ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग में भी उस समय इसको सराहा गया था, लेकिन मिस्टर ट्रंप के बयान के बाद अपोजिशन ने उसको एक इशू बनाया और ट्रंप यहाँ ही नहीं, वो वेस्ट एशिया के क्राइसिस को भी उन्होंने सॉल्व करा दिया। कहते हैं ईरान में भी वही थे। आज उनका बयान है कि कंबोडिया और उसके बीच में भी मैंने करा दिया, थाईलैंड के बीच में। तो उनके बयानों को गंभीरता से नहीं लिया जाना चाहिए।
Besides Operation Sindoor, special intensive revision is another major flashpoint between the government and opposition parties. Government sources say that debate on special intensive revision won't be possible since government cannot speak on behalf of the Election Commission.
Government is using Election Commission as a tool, which essentially has become an election compromise commission, which has been helping government rigging the elections. So we want government to have a detailed debate on SIR and rather stop this exercise until we figure out a transparent mechanism where this whole SIR can be done in a very transparent manner.
We have also moved to the Supreme Court. Honorable Supreme Court has also taken note of it, what we were fighting. The migration, Palayan, people have already moved out of their state. All of a sudden, Election Commission of India came on the surface claiming that there would be SIR, and the people who are working under the contractors, and they are not allowing to go back to a state. It is not easy for these laborers, workers.
With the support of more than 150 parliamentarians, government is all set to bring impeachment motion in Lok Sabha in the second week of the monsoon session. However, the opposition parties want to bring the motion in Rajya Sabha.
The motion for the impeachment of Justice Verma, BJP government just wants to take the limelight and nothing else. Now the opposition already presented a motion for the impeachment of Justice Verma. It was accepted or at least received by the Vice President Dhankar as a chairman of the Rajya Sabha. But we all know that he has been removed from the vice presidentship.
Opposition's motion in Rajya Sabha in fact became the trigger for Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation last week.
What we started from Rajya Sabha, which was supported by Dhankar ji, who is eventually was thrown out by the Bharatiya Janata Party government, because Bharatiya Janata Party government doesn't respect all these constitutional bodies, constitutional posts as well.
But NDA is defending the move by citing constitutional process.
संवैधानिक परंपरा के तहत जिस तरह का इनिशिएटिव पार्लियामेंट्री अफेयर मिनिस्टर ने ओम बिरला जी ने लिया है, प्रसन्नता है कि उस पर लोकसभा में बहस शुरुआत की जाएगी, क्योंकि राज्यसभा में ये विड्रॉ भी हो गया है और ये इम्पीचमेंट में सभी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज साथ देंगी सरकार का, चूँकि ये वन पार्टी अफेयर नहीं है। जुडिशरी में जो करप्शन के मामले हैं उसका ये सबसे भयंकर रूप है, एंड विच मस्ट बी गेट एक्सपोज्ड।
While these issues will be the main agenda in the second week of the Parliament, in between the jostling between the opposition and the Treasury benches over real reasons behind Dhankar's resignation, the spotlight will be on Dhankar's next move and that of the government to find his replacement. From Operation Sindoor to electoral roll revision, all eyes will be on the monsoon session storm in the Parliament.
Ladies and gentlemen, the shock exit of Jagdeep Dhankar has taken the entire monsoon session off script. The Parliament expected to see fireworks on topics like Operation Sindoor and Justice Verma's impeachment. But it has now turned into a coliseum of gladiators fighting full-throttle succession saga. Rajya Sabha's top chair and the nation's second highest constitutional office lies vacant. And in the next 60 days, a new player in Indian polity will emerge, chosen not by the masses, but by the elites that walk the halls of Parliament. Who will the NDA choose is the question. Because for Indy to succeed, it would take a miracle. They don't have the numbers. From whispered shortlists to the cold, hard calculus of majorities, here is a preview to all the consideration that will be discussed in the corridors of power for a succession that was not even on their radar until just a week ago. The race is officially on for India's next Vice President.
माननीय सभासदों, माननीय उप सभापति जी,
an unprecedented announcement.
Announcement by the chair. The occurrence of vacancy in the office of Honorable Vice President is envisaged in the Constitution as and when communication in respect of further constitutional process is received, the same shall be shared.
नैतिक मूल्यों को खत्म किया गया है. A thunderclap in Lutyens, Delhi after an abrupt resignation.
अचानक आप एकदम इस्तीफा देते हैं तो इसके पीछे कोई ना कोई कारण है, कुछ तो राज है जिसके पर्दादारी है.
Suddenly his resignation comes up. So that is definitely unexpected, but he's also cited health reasons.
Today, the country has no vice president. We are headless in so many ways.
कई दिनों से उनकी तबीयत ठीक नहीं चल रही थी, इसलिए उन्होंने अपना इस्तीफा दे दिया है.
BJP has a track record of undermining constitutional offices and processes both.
I don't know what compulsions or what reasons, but I wish him all the best for good health.
केंद्र सरकार को देश को स्पष्टीकरण देना अनिवार्य है कि वो देश को किस प्रकार से आगे लेके जाए.
Vice President's chair sits empty. India's second highest constitutional office lies vacant. And the nation watches as India's next big succession drama begins.
I will retire at the right time. August 2027. Subject to divine intervention.
The shocking exit of Vice President Dhankar has taken the monsoon session off script. The ECI has appointed the returning officers for the election. The 60-day clock is ticking as per the constitutional procedure. And both the NDA and the opposition are scrambling to capture the narrative.
Now there should be no issue with regards to which house it has to be moved. Once we have agreed that it will be moved in Lok Sabha and it will be concurred in Rajya Sabha as per rule. So we should not remain under any doubt.
प्रधानमंत्री जी को और सरकार को स्थिति स्पष्ट करनी चाहिए कि ऐसा अचानक क्या हुआ कि उपराष्ट्रपति के पद पे, एक संवैधानिक पद पे बैठे हुए व्यक्ति को इस्तीफा देना पड़ा। और उससे भी अजीब बात यह है कि उनका विदाई भाषण भी नहीं कराया गया, उनका विदाई समारोह भी नहीं कराया गया, जो परंपराओं के बिल्कुल विपरीत है।
आप लोग होश में आके
The government faces a pivotal calculation. The Rajya Sabha chair needs both gravitas
आपका होश और वो सब बर्बाद होगा unnecessary
and a steady parliamentary hand for crucial legislative battles.
I hereby name Sri Derek O'Brien. Derek O'Brien is hereby named to leave the house immediately. What are you doing, Mr. Derek O'Brien?
This time, the choice is even more crucial. Will the BJP tap into the basics? Loyalty, organizational roots, and ideological alignment? Or is another wild card on the cards?
Factors that would affect the choice of VP for the BJP now would, I think most important would be to find an affable person but firm person, a person who can handle opposition which is on a war path for since it has lost power and has been very aggressive, sometimes unreasonably, to still try to manage the floor with them and let the bills pass, let the Rajya Sabha function, because at the moment problem is that due to its better presence in Rajya Sabha and total neglect for any constitutional norms, they have been able to hijack the parliament in both the houses in terms that hardly any business takes place. So this has to happen. So to find such a person who should be, as I said, not to be projecting, interested in projecting himself or herself, but rather seeing that business is done well, properly, and also take care of the niceties, but still be very firm.
It's not just the dynamics at the center. The BJP reads the electoral map as a chessboard. With Bihar,
अरे काहे के लिए बोल रहे हो? जब उम्र तुम्हारा कम था, तुम्हारे पिताजी 7 साल मंत्री थे और उसके बाद तुम्हारी माता 7 फिर मंत्री रही, आज तुम मुख्यमंत्री रहे और उसके बाद क्या उस समय की स्थिति है? और सारा का सारा बीच में 1.5 साल आप लोगों को भी किया, लेकिन आप लोग भी ठीक नहीं कर रहे थे तो छोड़ दिया। अब हम लोग जो साथ में रहे शुरू से, हम उन्हीं के साथ सब दिन रहेंगे।
वेस्ट बंगाल,
एक तो इलेक्शन कमीशन बैठे हैं, मैं उसको डिसरेस्पेक्ट नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन अगर कोई बीजेपी दलाली करे तो हम उसको इंसान के लिए हम कहेंगे दलाली मत करना, हम नहीं छोड़ेंगे। मैं बिहार में सुना 30.5 लाख वोट निकाल दिया, ऐसा करके महाराष्ट्र में बीजेपी जीता, नहीं तो नहीं जीतता। दिल्ली में भी ऐसा करके जीता, बिहार में भी ऐसा प्लान कर रहा है, वो भी हमारा भाई बहन है। बंगाल में भी प्लान करना है। हम तो इंच में लड़ाई करेंगे और दिखा देंगे, बिना युद्धे 1 इंची जमियो আমরা ছাড়বো না।
Tamil Nadu and Assam. BJP has unanticipated chance to pick a new vice president and send a national message.
I don't really think that what happens in Delhi impacts the local state level elections. People are mature, people understand all this. So an election in Delhi for a post which doesn't impact any business in any state would not really matter the people who are going to vote. It can be a feel-good factor in the elections, it can be a feel-good factor for the parties, but not the elections. So I think the choice would not depend on which state is going to election. It's very much to do with how government can really help the business being done in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha and help the country run in a better manner.
A nominee from the OBC or backward communities could energize caste coalition in the heartland. A Muslim, Christian or a minority candidate could go miles in southern and eastern states. A non-traditional or symbolic pick can tilt perceptions regionally without risking the BJP score base.
There are all factors involved in the selection of the next vice president. It may be a minority, it may be from upper caste. We have to wait and watch. There may be few names working in the mind of top leaders of BJP. We can speculate, but speculation is not going to end the matter, The selection process is going to be very easy affair for Narendra Modi is concerned, because he has already made up his mind. For the last 4 or 5 days, Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, would have discussed it with Mr. Amit Shah, Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar. Therefore, it is going to be an easy choice. I think minority will also be taken into consideration.
One of the most eligible candidates is the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Over 10 years in Rajya Sabha with experience in the chair, JDU's Sri Harivansh could emerge as a frontrunner. However, many names are swirling in the corridors of power. Some even calling for the elevation of a union cabinet heavy hitter to be elevated, ensuring experience and loyalty. And this isn't without precedence.
I would be the last person to outguess Modi ji. People, the journalists, the media has come to grief every time they have tried to outguess or guess who would be the choice of any post in BJP, whether it's president, whether it's minister. So we would rather wait and not really try to, play games to just satisfy that who will be the choice for VP.
Whoever it may be, the allies or the BJP, it's the NDA that will get a chance to once again show its strength in the parliament. The Vice President of India is not chosen directly by the people, but by an exclusive vote of members of parliament. All members, both of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. With preference ballots, secret choices and no party whips, the contest of the Vice President of India is pure politics and a game of arithmetics. And the stakes this time are higher than ever before. The opposition will contest hard to send a message, but the numbers stack higher for the NDA. And yet, for the ceremonial chair of the Vice President, symbolism is the name of the game. The battle lines are drawn. The monsoon session is gearing up for a thunderous clash. The next Vice President will not just preside over the Rajya Sabha. They'll set the tone for India's politics at a turning point. From ideology,
बोफोर्स घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए ने किया. 2G स्पेक्ट्रम किसने किया? यूपीए ने. सत्यम घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए. कॉमनवेल्थ घोटाला किसने किया? यूपीए ने.
To power politics.
अरे गुस्सा मत करो भैया. अरे गुस्सा मत करो. Nothing will go on record. Whatever I will say, that will go on record. You should know.
And backdoor real politicking.
यहाँ बैठे हैं श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी जी. ना रमेश बना सकता है, ना आप बना सकते हैं.
Watch the next 60 days closely. India's vice presidential story enters a new act.
This week is going to mark another historic milestone for humanity's tryst with space. ISRO, India's ISRO and United States NASA are coming together in the biggest intercontinental space collaboration ever. With $1.5 billion on the line, India's GSLV Make-2 rocket is set to launch the NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar, also known as Nisar. It is the most advanced Earth monitoring and observation satellite ever built by humanity, and one of the biggest collaboration between ISRO and NASA in terms of costs. A satellite capable of mapping out the entire Earth in just 12 days, orbiting it over a dozen times a day. It is not just the most detailed selfie of the planet, but one that can reshape our understanding about climate change. disaster management, and many other dimensions that can help us take care of our mothership in the vacuum of space, planet Earth. Here are the details of the historic space launch we keenly look forward to this week, which is on July 30th. Take a look.
The way we see Earth from above is forever going to change.
और पृथ्वी को बाहर से देख के जो पहला ख्याल और पहला जो थॉट मन में आया वो ये था कि पृथ्वी बिल्कुल एक दिखती है, बाहर से कोई सीमा रेखा नहीं दिखाई देती, कोई बॉर्डर नहीं दिखाई देता।
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Less than 2 weeks after ISRO and NASA collaborated to send India's first astronaut to the International Space Station.
3 nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed X4.
The launch pad at Sriharikota is gearing up to rewrite history from the space with another historic collaboration.
This is a partnership between NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization.
Nisar is going to be one of the most sophisticated radar satellites that has ever flown in orbit.
Nisar is going to open our eyes to seeing the ground in places that otherwise has been obscured.
The world's most advanced Earth observation satellite, built at the whopping cost of $1.5 billion or nearly 13,000 crore rupees, is all set to take off this week. This isn't just about space science. It's about the biggest collaboration in the history between the shared power of the best minds of 2 continents, designing the most cutting-edge radar satellite ever to track the health of our Mother Earth.
Nisar is NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar satellite. This satellite is one of the very unique satellites which has been built by NASA and ISRO, and this is the first of the kind in the world, and its applications are extremely unique, and this application are useful for every mankind of this Mother Earth. Nisar in large is a 2349 kg satellite, and it has both L-band and S-band synthetic aperture radar. This has both day and night type of capability. It's a radar satellite, so it is both day and night satellite. So the images can be taken in the daytime, images can be taken in the night time, and it has a revisit of 12 days. Once in 12 days, it revisits the same place of the Earth. Therefore, this satellite, which has very high density resolution camera and very high resolution synthetic aperture radar, can image satellite with very high density picturing and what we call it as cartography, and what is called as the Earth imaging will be extremely accurate, and the changes which happens continuously, regularly on the Earth can be monitored and can be utilized for various applications.
This isn't just about exploration, it's about investment into our planet's future. At a staggering cost of $1.5 billion, Nisar isn't just ISRO's most expensive collaboration, but also NASA's biggest bet on international teamwork.
Well, any space radar system is expensive because we have to make it work for several years. The lifespan of this is about 3 years, and the components used have to be reliable. But most of all these things, electronic components, there is a very composite, very complex antenna system. Whenever you go to higher, whenever you want to see smaller objects on the ground, I must have a big antenna. Like you have a telescope, you have to have a big mirror, a big lens, larger diameter lens. Same concept like in optics. If I have a larger antenna, I can see smaller objects on the ground. But I have to pay for the cost of the size of launching.
Instead of, let us say, the satellite is expensive, irrespective of the cost, we can say the benefits are more than double the cost. The reason being, The S-band radar and L-band radar provides information related to the solid earth. That means the minute changes on the earth can be monitored. For example, the disaster management related to the volcanoes, related to the floods, and related to the let us say avalanches, and many other things can be monitored. We can also monitor the forest, the wetland, the crops, the agriculture, and in addition to that, the glaciers melting and the sea level rise can be monitored by the satellite. Many things can be done. So that is how we have to look at it instead of the cost.
With billions at stake, NASA has entrusted the responsibility of placing Nisar in a sun-synchronous polar orbit 747 kilometers above Earth to India's GSLV Mark II rocket.
This is being launched by GSLV Mark II. GSLV Mark II is a versatile launch vehicle which has launched a number of similar satellites of this weight. For example, all the NAVIC satellites were launched by GSLV Mark II. So this GSLV Mark II carries the 2390 kg Nisar into polar orbit. GSLV is first time used to launch a satellite into polar orbit.
Nisar is set to redefine how we see Earth with its unique L and S band radars. This dual frequency synthetic aperture radar, referred to as SAR, will send out invisible radar waves to Earth's surface and listen for those waves that bounce back with its 12-meter gold-plated mesh antenna, the largest ever launched into space.
NISR, which is NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar, is a great boon for this world in large, India in particular, and also ISRO, which is in front end of making the satellite. If you look at the ISRO specific focus area for the satellite, ISRO is also keenly interested in NISR's global science objectives, climate hazards and resources. In addition to, ISRO has an operational imperative to support Indian agencies and comprehensive observation plan using L-band and S-band synthetic aperture radar, which is day and night type of observation, day and night of mapping. First and the foremost is the ecosystem, monitoring of agriculture crops and crop biomass, soil moisture, forest inventory, biomass change and carbon sequestration, and this would really help the farmers in terms of identifying the moisture on the soil and what to be sown, when to be sown, how to be sown, etc. And the solid earth, the risk assessment of the and management through monitoring co-seismic and post-seismic and inter-seismic deformation, volcanic deformation, landslides and aquifer systems for groundwater flow, etc. is extremely important as the seismic activities happen. There are changes in the platelets of the earth and also changes in the earth upper layers of the earth, which are really important to see how the water flows and how to monitor and take required corrective actions.
From tracking climate change to warning for disaster management, to observing agricultural patterns, water security and forest ecosystems. Nisar has far exceeded the capabilities of any Earth observation satellite made ever. With centimeter accuracy and the ability to see through thick clouds and dense forests. So let the countdown begin as ISRO's most trusted GSLV Mark II prepares for launch.
The launch sequence is something like this. We know that the first stage consists of the 4 strap-ons. It's called L40 strap-ons. So initially the L40 strap-ons will get ignited, and immediately all L40s, let us say, gets into a 90% thrust, then the middle liquid engine will be ignited. All the 5 motors will take the vehicle up to roughly around up to 149 seconds, and it takes to an altitude of 100 kilometers, 109 kilometers. Once it takes to go to 109 kilometers, and then by the time the velocity is 1.5 kilometers per second. So at this time the first stage will get separated, and then followed by the nose cone will get separated. Then the second stage will get ignited, and the second stage will take the vehicle up to an altitude of, let us say, 340 kilometers, and by the time the velocity will be 3.5 kilometers per second. Then followed by the cryo stage, which let's say burns for longer duration, more than 500 second duration. So this takes the satellite to 743 kilometers altitude, and at that time the velocity will be around 7.5 kilometers per second, and after that the cryo stage will stop burning once the satellite injection conditions are achieved. Then by around, let us say, 1110 seconds, the satellite will get separated. So this is how the launch sequence will go ahead.
From the dust of Sriharikota to the snow caps of Alaska and the Arctic, Nisar's eyes will watch over all of us, connecting coast to coasts, continents to continents, and humanity with Mother Earth.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, to our fourth story tonight. A special NIA court in Mumbai is all set to pronounce verdict on Thursday. A case that started debate on saffron terror. On July 31st, fate of Lieutenant Colonel Purohit Sadhvi Pragya will be decided after 17 years of blast in Malegaon. It happened on September 29 that year, during the holy month of Ramzan and on the eve of Navratri festivities. Claimed 6 lives and injured 100. Take a look at what are the possibilities.
A special NIA court in Mumbai is all set to pronounce verdict on Thursday, July 31st in the Malegaon blast case of 2008. The bombs placed on a motorcycle near a mosque had left 6 persons dead and over 100 injured in Malegaon town of Nashik district in Maharashtra on September 29, 2008. The initial investigation was carried out by Maharashtra ATS, helmed at that time by Hemant Karkare, the IPS officer who perished during the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks. The case was later transferred to NIA in 2011. But even before the agency could pick threats, the probe had taken political overtones.
अब ये बात हम कहते हैं कि हिंदू आतंकवादी नहीं हो सकता, लेकिन जो भी हिंदू आतंकवाद में पकड़ा जाता है वो आरएसएस का क्यों होता है, इसका जवाब भी आरएसएस को देना चाहिए.
The Congress in power, both in Maharashtra as well as centre, coined a new phrase, saffron terror, to colour code terrorism for the first time in India's post-independence history. The reason? The arrest of self-styled Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur and the unravelling of the role of a Hindu group, Abhinav Bharat, by Karkare's team.
We have to understand the political situation and what's happening that time. So this is almost the 4th year of the UPA 1 government, right? Dr. Manmohan Singh is the Prime Minister. And what's happening that time, in 2007 and early 2008, multiple bomb blasts are happening. Be it Ahmedabad, be it Uttar Pradesh, Faizabad, Hyderabad, multiple bomb blasts are happening, and the topic of Islamic terror is coming on the top. And that's making look Muslims bad. And that's the vote bank of Congress. So what they will do, they will try that this narrative should shift somehow.
The Bharatiya Janata Party in opposition at that time cried foul, blaming the Congress party for politicizing the blast probe to appease its vote bank.
आपने मालेगांव विस्फोट के मामले में देखा होगा, कांग्रेस की शरारत देश के खिलाफ एक अपराध है और कांग्रेस के लोगों को इसके लिए माफी मांगनी चाहिए देश की जनता से. आतंकवादियों को प्रेरित और पोषित करने वाली ये कांग्रेस देश के साथ कैसे खिलवाड़ कर रही है, ये किसी से छुपा हुआ नहीं है. पहले जब सत्ता में थे तब उन आतंकियों को प्रेरित और प्रोत्साहित करते थे और हिंदू संगठनों पर झूठे मुकदमे दर्ज करते थे.
इतनी साल तक कांग्रेस इसको दुनिया में भगवा टेरर, हिंदू टेरर कर घूमती रही. दुनिया में इन्होंने देश को बदनाम करने का काम किया. हिंदू टेरर की व्याख्या करी. टेरर का कोई धर्म नहीं होता. श्री राहुल गांधी, आप सुन लो, आपको देश के सामने माफी मांगनी चाहिए.
Charges flew thick and fast. The most dangerous aspect of politicization, however, was the suggestion that in some way elements of Indian Army were involved.
Sacrifices make the country. Freebies don't. Okay. And stop asking this leftist-like questions. What our army is doing for you? Ask what I am doing for the army. Okay. I feel ashamed of myself that I am not able to put my 100%. Understand this, okay?
If this is only for Tukaram, the Havaldar, who caught Kasab, otherwise the theory of Congress UPA government of saffron theory would have been established, that some people came in saffron clad kalavas and killed so many people. They want to coin this term to ease their vote bank. And then we have realized that they want to target two people, like the saints of India and the army of India. So they caught Colonel Purohit, and here they caught Sadhvi Pragya Thakur.
To underscore that there was nothing called saffron terror, the Bharatiya Janata Party even got Sadhvi Pragya Thakur, now on bail, elected to the Lok Sabha from Bhopal. The case became a turf for the Congress's saffron terror pitch, with the Bharatiya Janata Party making it a case of most dangerous aspect of appeasement politics played by the Congress party.
He was a person of army whose duty was to act in intelligence. He was in the Department of Intelligence. So his duty was to gather information, political as well as religious, from every source. I am defending the Indian army, the integrity of Indian army, and I am calling names. I am calling out on the boogie of saffron terrorism. And that is my right.
With Makoka charges dropped, trial began against the 7 accused in October of 2018 under various sections of UAPA and IPC. The hearing of evidence concluded in September of 2023. In all, the Court of Special Judge A.K. Lahoti examined 323 witnesses through the proceedings, of which 34 turned hostile.
The final judgment is on July 31st. Now, under the Anti-Terror Law, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, the UAPA, and the Indian Penal Code, there are serious charges. This case is not just about a Sadhvi Pragya or a Colonel Purohit. It is about justice being given to all those who were part of the Malegaon blast, but who were also perpetrators of crime. There is nothing like saffron terror or Islamic terror. It is only about getting rid of these kind of terrorists who try to destabilize our state, our country, and our philosophies.
During the proceeding, Colonel Purohit also examined witnesses, with the defense arguing that the case was politically motivated based on fabricated evidence.
Every now and then there was some blast, either in a train or in a market, and we were small people, not much following, but we were aware of whatever was happening in India. Whenever we were going to some places to talk to in temples or wherever, we used to take permission of the police before we started our talks. We did not incite anybody, and they had already planned to arrest all of us in some case or the other. Malegaon case appears to have come handy for them, and when I was in ATS custody.
Coming as it does week after 7/11 Mumbai train blast judgment, in which all the accused were acquitted, politics is preceding the verdict day.
नहीं, कोर्ट ने राहत नहीं दी है। कोर्ट ने उस जजमेंट के ऊपर स्टे दिया है और ये कहा है कि जो जेल से निकल गए थे, जो एक्यूज 18 साल के बाद, उनको दोबारा अरेस्ट नहीं किया जाएगा। मैं केंद्र सरकार से और महाराष्ट्र सरकार से पूछना चाह रहा हूँ कि आप ये अपील क्यों डाल रहे भाई, जब वो लोग लीगली इनोसेंट नहीं है, बल्कि कंप्लीटली इनोसेंट हैं, राइट। दूसरा ये है कि हम बीजेपी से और केंद्र सरकार से पूछना चाह रहे हैं कि कल अगर मालेगांव ब्लास्ट में, और महाराष्ट्र सरकार से, मालेगांव ब्लास्ट में अगर कल वो भी रिजर्व फॉर जजमेंट है, मिसाल के तौर पर मान लिया जाए, जो नहीं होना चाहिए, अगर कोर्ट डिसाइड करेगा कि वो एक्विट हो गए, तो अपील करेंगे आप?
Saffron or green, terror is terror. It is the nation's interest that is not color-coded. It is over to July 31st when Special Judge A.K. Lahoti is all set to pronounce this verdict.
I think it's very important what's the court are going to give on 31st July, because this is shape of the narrative of the Congress try to pit saffron terror, Hindu terror against the Muslim terror. That's one. And how fair these agencies are, how they are coerced during the UPA rule. All of those questions will be settled. But my basic trouble will be the initial probe that was done. I don't know how much of those initial probe results are taken into account, are done with full coercion, and Sadhvi Pragya Thakur on record multiple times has narrated on multiple TV interviews.
All right, friends, in the last 50 minutes, whatever you watched is actually going to happen over the coming week, beginning with, of course, tomorrow, when the Operation Sindoor debate kicks in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha in Parliament. And, of course, the launch of Nisar. All that and more, all happening. Please keep a watch. Look forward to those events. Thanks for watching.